Here she is. Tastes like a chicken nugget.
U.S. regulators have approved the sale of chicken made from animal cells.
Lab-made animal protein from the companies Good Meat and Upside Foods is now clear for production and sale in the U.S.
It's really good.
Tastes like a burger.
My mind is blown right now. Like the texture is perfect. The juiciness is there. Like it's chicken. It's chicken. The stringiness, it's pulling apart. It totally mimics the real thing. And I would buy this. I would eat this. I'm eating it now. This is a thumbs up from me.
Plant-based burgers, lab-grown meat, the future of food, or so we're told. Slick ads promise juicy, guilt-free protein that saves the planet and spares the animals.
Different. It was grown in a lab.
Cultured meat.
Lab-grown chicken.
A lab-grown chicken nuggets.
Chicken.
Seems as though that the mission statement behind all of this is, hey, we're going to give you the taste of meat, but it's better for you and it's better for the planet.
But what if the truth isn't so clean? What if those meatless patties are ultra-processed cocktails of additives, and those lab-grown steaks come with unanswered health risks? We've been told fake meat is the answer, but is it really food? Or just another experiment on our plates? The truth may change how you see every bite.
We conducted a study, and it shows that there's a risk that cultured meat actually might be worse for the environment in some situations than animal agriculture.
It started with a promise: meat without the guilt. Companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods stormed onto the scene, claiming they had cracked the code to the future of food. Their burgers looked like beef, sizzled like beef, even bled like beef, thanks to ingredients like soy leghemoglobin. Celebrities invested, fast food chains slapped them on menus, and suddenly, fake meat was everywhere. The message was clear. You could save the planet, spare the animals, and still have your burger too.
So this is unhealthy vegan food right here. This one you're about to have is called the Mac Daddy.
So you're telling me vegan people eat the same stuff as we do?
But here's the truth behind the shine. These patties aren't made from simple peas or soy. They're ultra-processed products with long ingredient lists. Beyond Burger, for example, includes pea protein isolate, canola oil, rice protein, stabilizers, and added vitamins. Impossible adds genetically engineered soy protein and heme to mimic the taste of beef. While marketed as natural and sustainable, they're closer to lab science than backyard farming. So while you thought you were biting into the clean future of food, you may have actually been chewing on one of the most processed products ever sold in the name of health.
The reason that we created it is because we wanted to address the greatest environmental threat that humans have ever faced.
You know, a quick Google search will let you know that the vegan diet is now everywhere.
I just don't want to contribute to the exploitation and the suffering and the murder of all these innocent animals anymore.
Fake meat is sold as the healthier swap. No cholesterol, fewer calories, all the protein of beef without the baggage. It sounds almost too good to be true. And in many ways, it is. A traditional beef burger? One ingredient? Beef. A plant-based patty? Up to 18 ingredients. Pea protein isolates, refined oils, methylcellulose binders, flavor enhancers, and lab-engineered heme designed to make it look and taste like real meat. It's not a patty. It's a science project. Here's the catch. Swapping beef for fake meat doesn't necessarily make you healthier. Yes, plant-based patties contain less cholesterol and sometimes fewer saturated fats, but they're often loaded with sodium, up to 400 to 600 milligrams per patty, compared to about 75 milligrams in plain beef. And while beef delivers heme iron and vitamin B12 naturally, fake meats have to add synthetic vitamins to fill the gap. Another point, not all fats are equal. Beef's saturated fat can raise cholesterol, but the canola and sunflower oils in many plant burgers oxidize when cooked, potentially producing harmful compounds. That's a trade-off the glossy ads never mention. So the big question isn't just plant versus animal, it's real versus engineered.
Can meat in here.
Yes.
But I don't see any animals and I don't see any animal parts.
Well, that's the trick, right?
These are the tissue production cultivators. We invented this sort of technology in order to grow tissue.
Is it safe?
Absolutely.
A grass-fed beef patty may sound old-fashioned, but at least it's food your great-grandparents would recognize. Fake meat? It might fit in a lab report easier than it fits on your dinner plate. Fake meat companies love to show cows grazing on deforested land. then cut to their shiny plant-based patties sizzling on a grill. The message? Every bite of fake meat saves the world. And yes, compared to beef, the numbers look impressive. Less land, less water, fewer greenhouse gas emissions. But dig deeper, and the picture isn't so black and white. Studies show that producing a Beyond or Impossible burger does emit fewer greenhouse gases than raising beef cattle, but it's not impact-free. The soy and pea protein used in these products often come from large-scale industrial farms, many reliant on chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and long-distance shipping.
So they're going to need things like soybean hydrolysate to provide amino acids. And where do we get soybean hydrolysate from? Well, you get it from soybeans. And how do you get soybeans? Well, you plant these giant monocrops. And what happens when you plant giant monocrops? Well, you decimate the whole ecosystem.
In other words, we're swapping one form of industrial agriculture for another. And then there's packaging and processing. A pound of ground beef requires little more than grinding. A pound of fake meat goes through multiple factories, refining proteins, synthesizing additives, and shipping ingredients around the globe. That carbon footprint is harder to measure and often missing from the glossy marketing. So yes, fake meat may be better for the planet than beef, on paper. But better doesn't mean sustainable. When your eco-savior comes wrapped in plastic, pumped with additives, and shipped halfway around the world, maybe it's not saving the planet. Maybe it's just selling you a story. Fake meat started as the scrappy underdog, challenging the meat industry, fighting climate change, saving animals. But today, it's anything but a rebel. Beyond Meat is traded on Wall Street. Impossible Foods has backing from billionaires like Bill Gates. And here's the twist. Some of the biggest investors in fake meat are the same corporations that run the global meat industry. Tyson Foods, Cargill, even JBS, the world's largest beef producer, have launched their own plant-based lines. Why would Big Meat back fake meat? Simple. Control the market no matter what you choose. Whether you buy beef, chicken, or a soy burger, the profits often flow to the same companies. What began as a movement to challenge industrial farming has in many ways become part of it. Even fast food chains jumped in. Burger King rolled out the Impossible Whopper, McDonald's tested McPlant, and KFC tried plant-based nuggets. The image? Health and sustainability. The reality? Highly processed patties served alongside sodas and fries. The same system, new packaging. So was fake meat ever really about saving the planet? Or was it just about expanding the menu of big food? In the end, it may not be replacing the old system. It may just be reinforcing it. Plant-based burgers were just the beginning. In labs across the world, scientists are growing meat from animal cells, real chicken, beef, even fish, without raising or slaughtering animals. Singapore became the first country to approve lab-grown chicken in 2020. The promise? Real meat. No factory farms. But the challenges are huge. Sky-high costs, energy-intensive bioreactors, and unanswered questions about long-term health and safety. Supporters argue lab-grown meat could reduce land use and animal suffering. But critics warn the technology may simply create a new form of industrial farming, controlled by patents, billion-dollar corporations, and complex supply chains. In other words, the future may not be about liberation from the food industry, but deeper dependence on it. So, is fake meat the food of the future, or just the future of food marketing? Whether it's a pea protein patty or a lab-grown steak, the truth remains. When corporations control what's on your plate, the question isn't what's healthier, it's who's profiting when you take a bite.